Everyone, so I am Clint Jansol. So this is my video of my 10 secondary references articles. So first, Cassandra Elodie, A New Logic Become Novum Organum. This article is Novum Organum introduced a revolutionary form of logic that departs from Aristotelian syllogism in favor of empirical induction. And the strength of the article's argument is its detailed comparison between Bacon's method and the existing logical frameworks, demonstrating the originality of Bacon's approach. And the weakness of these arguments is the fact that it tends to overlook the limitation of Bacon's inductive method in complex scientific inquiries. These articles help me to realize that Bacon's logic was a necessary step in moving away from medieval scholasticism toward modern science. To support this article, the claim in my research paper that Bacon's emphasis on empirical observation reshaped the foundation of logical reasoning in science. And the second is Lenz-William Method and Control, Naturalizing Scientific Culture in Bacon's Novum Organum. Thesis in this articles is that aims to naturalize scientific inquiry by grounding it in a controlled method, observation and experimentation. And strength of the article's argument is its exploration of how Bacon's method provide a structured framework that advances scientific culture. And the weakness of this argument is the fact that it might overstate the applicability of Bacon's method to all branches of science. And these articles help me to realize that Bacon's work was instrumental in shifting practice towards more scientific and controlled approach. To support these articles, the claim structural methods introduced in Novum Organum were crucial in the evolution of scientific. And the third is Cassandra Elodie, Bacon's Novum Organum, the myriads bed between the mind and the universe. The thesis in this logic article that Bacon's Novum Organum represent the union of human intellect with the natural world mediated by methodical observation and experimentation. The strength of this article's argument is its metaphorical analysis that adds depth to our understanding of Bacon's epistemology. And the weakness of this argument is the fact that it may rely too heavily on metaphor, which could obscure the practical application of Bacon's logic. These articles help me to realize that Bacon reviewed the relationship between mind and nature as reciprocal, requiring an active engagement with the world. Indeed, this article supports the claim in my research paper that Bacon's method bridges the gap between abstract reasoning and empirical evidence. And my fourth article is Barham Jeremy, the logical foundation of Bacon's induction. And the thesis in this article is that Bacon's method of induction is grounded in a logical process that is foundational of modern empirical science. And the strength of the article's argument is its rigorous examination of the logical structure underlying Bacon's inductive method. However, and the weakness of its argument is the fact that it might downplay the challenges of applying Bacon's logic to more abstract scientific concepts. And this article has helped me to realize that Bacon's inductive logic was critical in shaping the methodologies of modern science. This article supports the claim in my research paper that Bacon's logical methods provide a necessary foundation of scientific discovery. And my fifth article is Jones Garrett, revisiting Bacon's inductive method in the context of modern scientific inquiry. And the thesis on logic in this article is that while Bacon's inductive method has its roots in early modern philosophy, it remains relevant to contemporary scientific practices. And the strength of this article's argument is its ability to link historical concepts with modern scientific application, showing the enduring impact of Bacon's ideas. And the weakness of its argument is the fact that it could underestimate the extent to which scientific methods have evolved beyond Bacon's initial framework. And this article has helped me to realize that the principles of induction are still foundational of scientific reasoning in today's. This article supports the claim in my research paper. Inductive method remains cornerstone of empirical research. And the sixth articles is Brown Henry, Skepticism and Logic Bacon Novum Organum. And the thesis on this article is that Bacon addressed skepticism through a methodical logic that seek to overcome doubt by building knowledge from observable facts. And the strength of this article's argument is its exploration of how Bacon logic provides a systemic response to skepticism. And the weakness of these arguments is the fact that it may not fully address the limitation of Bacon's method in dealing with more complex philosophical skepticism. This article has helped me to realize that Bacon's approach to logic was not just about science, but also about confronting epistemological challenges. This article supports the claim in my research paper that Bacon's logic was response to the philosophical skepticism on his time. And the seven articles, Clark David, The Transformation of Logical Methods, Bacon and the Advancement of Learning. Thesis articles that Bacon's work marked a significant transformation in logical methods, contributing to the advancement of learning and knowledge. The strength of this article's argument is its detailed analysis of how Bacon's methods influence educational practices and the development of modern logic. And the weakness of its arguments is the fact that it might overlook other contemporary influences on the advancement of logic and learning. And this article helped me to realize that Bacon's contribution to logic were also educational, impacting how knowledge was taught and disseminated. This article supports in my research paper that Bacon's logic played a crucial role in shaping modern educational and scientific practices. And my 8 articles, Walker Thomas, Reasoning Bacon's Influence on Modern Logic. Thesis articles Bacon's influence on modern logic is more profound and widespread than traditional in knowledge. And the strength of this article's argument is its true resistment of Bacon's contribution, providing new insight in his impact on modern logical practices. And the weakness of its argument is the fact that it might overemphasize Bacon's rule, potentially neglecting the contribution of other figures. These articles helped me to realize that Bacon's legacy in logic is more complex and influential than I previously thought. These papers support to my research paper that Bacon's logical methods are foundational to the development of modern logic. And the 9 articles is Thomson Alice, Bacon Logic and its Role in the Scientific Revolution. Thesis on this article is that logical methods were instrumental in driving the scientific revolution. laying the groundwork for modern scientific inquiry. And the strength of this article's argument is its ability to connect Bacon logic directly and the broader historical context of the scientific revolution. And the weakness of these arguments is the fact that it may overlook other contributing factors to the scientific revolution beyond Bacon's logic. These articles help me to realize that Bacon's contribution were central to the methodological shifts that characterized the scientific revolution. This supports the claim in my research paper that Bacon's logic was the key factor in the rise of modern science. And the last, Mitchell Rebecca, Bacon inductive method and its relevance today. Thesis on this logic article is inductive method remains relevant to contemporary scientific practices, providing framework for modern empirical research. And the strength of this article's arguments is its discussion of how Bacon ideas continue to influence modern scientific methodologies. And the weakness of its arguments is the fact that it might not fully address the limitation of Bacon method in dealing with contemporary science challenges. These articles help me to realize that this principle of induction are still vital to the process of scientific discovery. This article supports in my research paper that Bacon inductive method is not just historically significant but also practically relevant today. This is my 10 representative video, and that's all. Thank you.